Hi everyone, it's Kate. Today I'm going to be talking about the royal treatment. And I'm not talking about hair, but I am talking about hair. I'm talking about the prince's hair, and not the balding one. So to get into it, our main characters are Izzy, who is a hairdresser in New York City, and we know it's New York because everyone has an accent.
2 donuts for 1 paper, please? Seriously though, what's with his hair?
Yes, and they're also Italian American, so they all speak Italian as well. Woo, we love it. And she constantly brings up that she is a New Yorker, and that she's Italian. So we know everything to know about her character. No, but it's like in every like shitty rom-com, whenever they have an Italian character, it's like, I love pasta and wine and family. And that's kind of what her mom and grandma are.
Maybe we are dead, but we just don't know it yet. No, Angela would be.
Izzy is a hairdresser. She works with 2 of her close friends, Lola and Destiny. They're not super important. They're just kind of there to be like, dog, you like the prince? Oh my gosh, you like the prince? Ha ha ha. You know, like that is their character trait. While Izzy is the super great, kind, caring person who loves kids, not in that way. Her mom, grandma, and friends work there. So Walter is like the prince's butler, right? So it's like, we love Walter. Always the nicest character who loves the main girly, right? So basically, the Walter calls Izzy and is like, hey girl, you have a spot open today? The prince needs a haircut. And she's like, oh my gosh, okay. And they have like a shitty salon, and he meant to call someone else, but he has like an accent, so he went to the wrong place or something like that. I don't know.
Dial Bell, best hair salon in New York.
She goes to the prince's hotel to cut his hair. The prince's hair looks so bad. It is obviously a wig. They even mention it, which is kind of funny.
I need a haircut. No. I look like I'm wearing a wig.
I think they did that because they knew it looked really bad. Izzy cuts his hair, or starts cutting his hair, but then the assistant to the prince, I don't know what her role is, and she is just like really mean to everyone. I think she might be like a coordinator or something like that, because she is only around to be like, hey, you guys have to do this, or I got you tea.
Oh! Yes, of course, sorry.
Incompetence! Complete incompetence!
She's really mean to the wait staff, like the help, which they call it in this, which I didn't know that was still like something people say. But whatever. And then Izzy's like, oh, screw you, you're such a bad person.
Why didn't you say anything?
Well, it's not really my place to say.
Not your place. You know what? Perhaps you should just cut your own hair.
And then she leaves. She was in the middle of cutting the fucking prince's hair, and then she's just like, yeah, you suck. You're mean. I thought you were gonna be down to earth because like you're like my age, but you're an evil rotten prince, and I'm gonna leave.
Baddie, she knows she a 10.
I feel like if this happened in real life, she'd get like beheaded. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, she was so rude. She's like, I hate you, and your shirt sucks, and your hair sucks, and you're an evil man. But then anyways, she goes back to her salon, and then we find out that the prince is there. He like followed her, or like found out where she was, and was like, you forgot your scissors.
Every day.
You forgot your scissors.
So then she's like, okay, whatever. So she cuts his hair at the salon. Everyone is being very nice.
Imagine if Ninja got a low table fame.
You find out that he speaks Italian, but it's never brought up again because he's like, oh, my Italian's really rusty. And then she's like, oh, okay, whatever. And then they don't speak Italian throughout the entire movie. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take the subway because I'm such a girly girl and I love this city, and I'm definitely one of you guys. And then everyone's like, Izzy, walk him back. So she walks him out, and then she's like, look at the stars. Girl, you are in New York City. There are no stars to see. And it's really awkward, and like there's like no romance or connection at all, but apparently he really likes her. So she leaves, he goes back home, and he's getting married, right? So there's an arranged marriage, and he's getting married to this random girl from Texas. She's really nice, and throughout the movie she's great, and I love her, and I feel bad for her. It's an arranged marriage, and neither of them want to get married, so you like, it's like, oh, I don't feel bad that he's like low-key kind of cheating on his future wife. But like it's never really like cheating, it's just like, hey, do you want to help these like homeless kids? That's like the extent of their relationship. Izzy and her 2 friends, Lola and Destiny, are invited to go to whatever country the prince is from for his wedding, to do the makeup and hair and everything, which is insane. I feel like they'd have their own personal staff, but he just liked her so much apparently because she's being freaking real, man. she's freaking tell me like it is. She was mean to me. Which is so funny because it's like this guy is so out of touch. He's like, someone was mean to me. They're being real. I gotta hire her for like $50,000. No one likes the main group of people, the 3 friends, Izzy and her 2 friends, because they talk to the help and the wait staff. Which is really freaking weird. Like, they have like a maid, like a personal maid for the 3 of them, or like personal servant, like someone to attend to them, and she's like, hey, what's your name? And then Walter, the butler, is like, you don't have to ask that. You don't have to introduce yourself. And it's like, dog, this is so mean.
Hey, I'm Izzy.
Oh, there's no need to introduce yourself to her.
Sure there is. She's a person, right?
Later on, the prince is like, yeah, like, I don't know any of these people. I've been through my whole life. I was informed not to talk to the help. Then, Izzy and the prince, his name is Thomas, they go into town, right? Because she's bored and she wants to go into town. And they find, like, a whole, like, nightlife to the city, but it's just, like, all these poor people dancing. It's literally just a bunch of poor people dancing and eating street food. Then Amber's amazing side, who loves kids, comes out and she's like, oh my gosh, there's this little poor girl who lives where she like lives in an orphanage where they teach and it's such a tiny space. I feel so bad. She's like, I want to help these kids. So while she's like getting ready to do the wedding and the hair and everything like that, she also starts like a drop off where you can drop off like old toys and books and stuff, and then it'll eventually go to the kids, which is really great and sweet. And while this is happening, the princess, the future princess, Miss Lamont, is like, I literally don't want to get married. And then her mom and dad are like, no, girl, you're getting married. And the mom sees Izzy and Thomas like talking and giggling and hanging out, and she's like, ugh, that little rat, that little street rat. I was trying to do something from like Aladdin because he plays a live action Aladdin, and I was trying to slip in one of those jokes, but it just wasn't good. Izzy continues to be such a great person and give food to people and be nice to everyone, and he's like, wow, maybe I don't have to treat the people who work for me like animals. That's so crazy. I didn't know they had names or hobbies or family. And you're supposed to be like, oh my gosh, this guy's so great. But then it's like, dog, he's not really. He's like, stupid idiot. He's a stupid idiot. Lamont mom sees and takes pictures of Izzy and Thomas giving away like gifts, and she's like tucking his hair back, and it like looks very romantic because like his hair was messy. And then there's a picture taken, and then she's like, oh, ha 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 ha. He's a cheating whore. He's a cheating scumbag. This is gonna be great news. And it literally is the biggest news ever, and everyone is so pissed. But it's like, dog, first of all, isn't the entire royal family like that? And I don't know, it's just like weird. Like, they make it like the most dramatic thing ever, and it's like, I feel like if this happened in real life, no one would bat an eye, and it wouldn't be on like the front page of a newspaper. Izzy gets kicked out of the castle and she has to go home, right? It's sad, I guess. But then the prince is like, I don't want to marry this girl, Loki. I don't like her. And then he talks to his parents and he's like, guys, first of all, like, how about we give more money to like these like homeless people like on like an entire side of our town? And then the dad's like, dog, we are broke. And then then Thomas is like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean we're broke? We live in a castle. And then he's like, do you know how hard it is to be a monarch these days? We have to heat up a ton of rooms. It's like, dog, get a smaller house or don't heat up the whole thing. Like, I don't know. It's so stupid and it pissed me off. But it's, like, supposed to, I think. But they never really, like, he doesn't really give any commentary on that aspect. But then he finds out that the reason that they're getting married, that it's the arranged marriage because the Lamont family wants to buy land from the royalty, which is half of their kingdom where all the poor people live, where they were all dancing. And he wants to renovate it and make it something better, but kick them out. So he's like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, they're not going to be living there anymore? Like, we're going to have, like, a ton of homeless people? That's ridiculous. I don't want to do that. We're not getting married. And then the dad's like, we need money. It's like, dog, cut down. Like, you have a giant castle and you're worried about, like, money? And also, throughout the entire movie, the prince is like, I forgot my wallet. Sorry, Izzy, you're going to have to pay. When Izzy is, like, broke. Like, full-on broke. And I think it was hinting at that they don't have money, but like at the same time, you live in a giant castle. Then he obviously comes to New York City to see her and is like, hey girl, I'm in love with you. And then she's like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with you. And then they are happy. I hated this movie. Like, genuinely, it was so dumb because they could have gone a lot of different ways. Like, it felt like nothing happened, because it's just like, the only thing that happened is he didn't get married. Like, I'm getting married, and then he's like, I'm not getting married. And then it's like, there are all these poor people. We gave them furniture and toys. Like, it just felt like very linear, when I feel like good rom-coms, I mean, there definitely needs to be a plot and like more linear focused, but there needs to be more drive on their romance and chemistry, when I feel like there was like little to no romance. Like, the only part that I found very sweet was like whenever they like got back after spending the night out on the town, she was like, stop looking at me like that, and he's like, looking at you like what? And then she's like you like me. And then like at the end of the movie, he's like, you know, in that time when you said that I looked at you, I was, and I want to look at you like that all the time. And I was like, that's that's kind of sweet. That was the only part that I found giggle worthy, and I giggle a lot during rom-coms. Giggliness, 2 out of 10. They just didn't have chemistry, and also the songs, every single song in this movie were like horrible renditions of other songs, and I think it's them singing. That's kind of it. Like, there wasn't much to this movie. It was a fine fine movie. That is going to be it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Like and comment and subscribe. And if you don't, a king is going to come to your house and complain about being so rich. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.